My wife takes work training to a whole new level and spends an evening of sexcapades with resident doctors. So I kicked her out and made her sign the divorce paper. I'm 41 male, married to my wife for 15 years. For this confession's sake, I'll call her Maya, 38 female. I met her some 17 years back at a hospital. I had been admitted because of an upset stomach, and she was a nurse in turn for my care. She had just begun her career, and I was one of the first few patients allotted to her. She was being extra caring and sweet, and that was why I noticed her. She was like a typical fresher beaming with fresh energy to begin her career. In my 2 days of stay at the hospital, I got the care like nothing before. While leaving, I asked for her number. She gave it to me to get some good feedback from me on the discharge form. That's how it started. We dated for 2 years before getting married, and now we are the parents of 3 kids. We had our own share of ups and downs, but nothing serious affected our relationship until a couple months ago. I'm noticing a very different change in her behavior. She's absent-minded most of the time, but very active on social media. She has suddenly adopted a flair for fashion. I don't have any problem that she wants to revamp her closet, but she's becoming very indifferent to us. I mean me and my kids. The kids are not kids anymore. They are 12, 10, and 10 twins. Recently, they have started complaining that mom doesn't love us the way she used to. The kids have always been closer to me than to Maya because I used to be at home more than she. I have a digital firm, so I have the office set up on the roof of my house. So I'm mostly put up at home. Maya is a nurse, which is a demanding profession. Actually, I had set up the office at the house so that I could share the responsibility of the kids, and it worked. But whatever you do as a father, kids always need mom. And when they find her aloof, they hate it. A few days back, I heard my youngest of the twins complaining to Maya about her absence in the house, both physically and mentally. She shooed her away, saying that they are grown-ups and should be able to take care of themselves and not bother her. I quite didn't like the way she spoke to my daughter, but we don't interfere with each other's parenting style, so I stood shut. But it's concerning me. I try to confront Maya about the situation, and as usual, she blamed her hectic work. She has a thing to blame her work if anyone catches her in stress, but she soon overcomes that. This time, it's been months that I'm seeing her like this, and she is not even opening up. I know her work is stressful, but she has been in this profession for 17 years, and I've known her since those early days. But this is the first time I've noticed this change. We have been through so much since I quit my high-paying job to start my own digital company, which got me into knee-deep debt. Then, when our twins were born, we had no one to help us with the twins and a 2-year-old toddler. It was difficult for us, but we both came out stronger from all the situations. I had never seen her behaving like this before. I discussed this with my best friend and he chuckles off, saying she is seeing someone more handsome. I don't want to jump to conclusions because we have been married for 15 long years and never, even once, she gave me any reason to doubt her. Now in our midlife, I don't want to tarnish our relationship by thinking she is cheating on me. But is this some kind of midlife crisis? I don't know, guys. Has any spouse faced this situation before? Just venting out to feel better. Update 1. Guys, it looks like a work problem indeed. Thanks for all the advice and heads up. I know you guys are right to say that being married and loyal for 15 years doesn't guarantee that the person won't cheat on you. I totally get it. Sorry for being so defensive in the comments. I understand where you guys are coming from. Life is weird. After getting all the comments hinting at her cheating, I couldn't help but ask Maya about it. Obviously, I didn't go and tell her directly that the Reddit community thinks that you're cheating on me. I asked her if she had lost interest in me or wanted to see someone else. She was taken aback. She asked me why I thought so and told her how her changed behavior was affecting all of us. She had acknowledged that she was being absent-minded these days. She said it was because of the change of dynamics of her work. Maya assisted Dr. Kia for a long time, but a few months back she had a new doctor at the hospital named Dr. Henry as the on-call doctor. Maya was now assigned to work with both Dr. Kia and Dr. Henry, but the problem in these two doctors had a bitter past. They used to be dating in their early career and ended up with a bitter breakup. Now they can't stand each other. Maya being stuck in between them faces the brunt because they both overload work on Maya so that the other's work gets piled up. The way Maya described her problems sounded legitimate. I told her to speak to the hospital management about this, But Maya said that she could not complain just on the basis of speculation. She assured me she would deal with it her own way. She just needed some time to figure out a solution. I noticed that a lot has improved after that conversation. She was gradually getting back to normal like she used to be, coming home on time, being present for the kids, and spending quality time with me. I asked her if she had sorted her issues with Kia and Henry. She said no, but she had started ignoring work problems at home. I said ignorance is not ideal, and she might blow up after a while. She said she would talk to them. I let her handle the situation at her own pace. Eventually, I noticed that she was happier than before. She told me that things were getting better with Kia and hence her workload is slowly easing out. I couldn't be happier to see her stress-free. She even went for nights out with Kia as a way to bond outside of work. See, I don't mind her relaxing through night out and hangouts with friends. Her work is stressful and she needs a break. I thought my problem was solved with that discussion, but from last week, I feel she has relapsed. She started showing the same behavior as earlier. I asked her if things had gotten worse. She said yes, things with Kia had gone to square one. I asked her if it was related to Henry. She got angry that I was poking too much into her business. She said that's how co-workers bonding is. They are not friends forever. I suggested that she can switch her job. She has 17 years of substantial experience and can easily get a better rank and better paying job at the top hospitals. She said that she has spent so many years in that hospital and has built a reputation for herself. She didn't prefer switching jobs at such an advanced age. Anyways, that's her call. I don't want to interfere in her career decision. Thanks for hearing me out though. Update 2. The last time I updated I thought that was it. But there's more. The last 3 to 4 months have been pretty much the same. On some days, she was loving and caring, and on some days she behaved like a stranger. My children have almost given up on her, and same mom is unpredictable. Whenever I pitched in, she would be like, "You're self-employed, you don't work for others. You won't understand what it is like to report to someone." I wanted to suggest to her that if she wanted to take a break for a few months, she could. But knowing how passionate she was about her profession, I better back off. I kind of accepted that she was stressed about her work problems, and there was nothing I could do. A week back, she told me she was going to Denver for some training program, along with other nurses and doctors. It was a 2-day trip. That was the first time her hospital was sending the nurses for cross-training, and Maya was selected to be one of the beneficiaries of the upskilling program. I was happy that she would get a change from her monotonous life. I assured her that I would take care of the children and she could focus on her work. She seemed very excited for the trip. On the day of her supposed work trip, I offered to drop her at the airport. But she said that the hospital had arranged a bus for everyone to be dropped off at the airport from the office. She said she would not be able to attend to calls and texts, so I better not disturb her. The day she was supposed to return, she told me she would be home by 7 p.m., but it was already 10. Her phone was switched off. I thought the battery was dead during the travel, so I went to the hospital to pick her up. I asked the receptionist if Maya had returned from the training. The receptionist had no idea about the training. She said she would check with the department and let me know. She asked me to wait. She was attending to a few queries. After a while, she called me and said that she had called up Maya's department and got the information that Maya was on leave for the last 2 days. I was shocked. I said it wasn't possible and asked her to check again. She gave me a weird look and said she got the information from Dr. Kia, who was in charge of Maya. I asked her if I could go to meet Dr. Kia. The receptionist again called someone and then told me that the doctor was busy and it would take time for her to come outside. I waited for some time and then left the hospital. Maya sent a text around midnight that her flight got delayed and she had just landed. She came home later in the night. I didn't confront her regarding my hospital visit. I asked her how was her training. She said good and tiring. She had a shift the next morning, so she dozed off. The next day she came back home and asked me why I didn't tell her about my hospital visit. I said I didn't get the opportunity to tell her because she came late and tired. It was clear that my visit didn't go down well for her, and she started giving explanations. She said that the receptionist had no idea about what was going on inside the floor. I patiently listened to her and then told her that the receptionist had gotten the information from Dr. Kia. Maya got furious at this and said that Kia was an evil woman and she deliberately lied to put her in trouble. I said okay and ended the conversation. I could have asked for the evidence that she was in Denver, some training badges, ID cards, or anything else that proved that she was there for her training, but God knows why I avoided the conversation. I have a gut feeling that she was lying. She was not on that work trip, but I wasn't ready for that truth, so I avoided asking for any such details. It's been 2 days and that feeling is choking me up. Now I regret not confronting her right then. I want to do it now, but really don't have the courage to start the conversation again. Is it normal to feel this fear of confrontation, or am I just scared to hear the truth? Update 3. Wow, I got a lot of backlash on my last update that I was a coward not to confront my wife right then when I knew the truth. Guys, you can call me whatever you want. I'm here to vent out my heart and connect with people who really understand others, or at least try. The thing is, not everyone is always in a headstrong mode of confrontation. After a week of that incident, I got a request from Dr. Kia on social media. This could not be a mere coincidence. I accepted it immediately. She said she was busy the other day when I wanted to meet her. I said okay, no issues, and ended the conversation, but I knew that it wouldn't be. There's a lot more to come. Kia said she wanted to contact me earlier but couldn't find me with the first name. But that day, I gave my full name to the receptionist, and that's how Kia found me. It is legitimate because my 3-lettered word is a common name found in every family. I asked her why she wanted to contact me earlier. She then sent me a video clip where Mio was seen inappropriately close to Henry. It was at someone's birthday party where Mio was literally throwing herself on Henry. It was just a few seconds of video. Kia said that she had a full video of that night. She asked me for a meeting to share the rest of the details. The next day I went to meet her, and she revealed the truth. Kia and Henry used to date during their internship days, but Henry has been a serial cheater, which led to their ugly breakup. When Henry joined the hospital and was in the same department as Kia, tension grew between them. She agreed on piling up work on Mio so that she could not take up Henry's work, but when Maya complained about it to her, Kia realized her mistakes and that she was unnecessarily punishing Maya. To make up for this, Kia took Maya out for dinners and night outs. Kia got closer to Maya and told her how she had broken up with Henry. In one of the drunken moments, Kia described to Maya how Henry was a thrilling man in bed, and since then, whenever Maya and Kia met, Maya used to ask her to describe in detail how Henry used to do to her in bed. Kia got suspicious of her and asked her if she was interested in Henry. Maya used to deny it, but again, in one of the drunken moments, Maya confessed that she had fantasized about Henry, but she didn't want to cross her boundaries and ruin her marriage. The other colleagues overheard the conversation and had reached Henry. Henry, being a playboy, used the opportunity to get close to Maya, and soon there were rumors of her affair. I asked her if she had any evidence for her claims. She said no. Maya and Henry used an empty patient's room during the nights of further own doing. There is no CCTV footage placed inside the room, so there is no evidence. But she said that on the supposed day, when Maya said she was going for her training trip, Henry was also on leave. It cannot be a mere coincidence. This information was enough for me to confront Maya. I took the videos from Kia, thanked her, and left. When I went back home, Maya had already left for her night shift. I tossed up my side for the whole night, and when Maya entered the room in the morning, I told her that I knew the truth. She immediately said that it was a misunderstanding. She was just sitting together with Henry during the night shift, and it was so tiring that she dozed off on his shoulder for a quick nap. I told her thanks for the information, but I wasn't even referring to this incident. I told her that I knew she lied about the Denver thing and that she was with Henry on those 2 days. Before she could say anything, I showed her the video I got from Kia. Maya cursed Kia and said she was creating these fake videos to strain their relationship. Apparently, there was another video rotating in the hospital group where Maya was seen leaning on Henry's shoulder while he was fondling her. I told her there was no point hiding the truth. It was better that she confessed. She broke down in tears and told me everything. It was more or less the same of what Kia had told me, but in Maya's version, she was not lusty. But it was Henry who made the first move and couldn't resist it. She said that she had never experienced any other men apart from me for 17 years. She didn't know how much sex had evolved and how people are exploring so many new things. I asked her about the trip, and she said she was indeed with Henry, and they didn't go anywhere but locked up themselves in a hotel room and banged day and night. She had put it in a subtle way, but it basically meant what I said. She said it was a breakup sex because she was feeling guilty about ruining our marriage. She wanted to stop the affair, but Henry insisted they meet one last time. That's why they had planned that hideout. She said it was over, and she was never going to meet him again. Every cheater's favorite line after being caught, isn't it? She said no. She was intending to end the affair even if she was not caught. I told her that I would be seeing a lawyer to divorce her, and meanwhile, she should find a place for herself. The house on which we are living has my office set up so I cannot leave. Also, I'll take custody of the children because she was neglecting them and they are closer to me. The children would stay with me in our house and she has to leave. She acted shocked and gave a twisted logic that I could not divorce her after being married for 15 years. I was like, why not? If she can screw someone else after being committed for so long, I can also divorce her, right? A lot of begging and pleading was happening since then, but I'm adamant about the divorce. I spoke to my lawyer yesterday, and he is processing the papers. If she's still living in the house, it's just 3 days after the confrontation. I told her to confront the children about the divorce as she can give any age-appropriate reason to them, or else I'll tell them the truth. Crying and begging are still on, but it's fruitless now. We'll update the thread after all this is done. Update 4. It was a long, messy series of events. After a lot of pleadings when I didn't budge, Maya told the kids that we were separating, and immediately all 3 of them said that they wanted to live with Dad. I asked them how they knew they needed to choose one. The elder one said that his friend's parents also got divorced, and he was asked by the police to choose between the parents. My eldest son said that whenever he saw problems between me and Maya, the 3 of them ganged up to decide that if Mom and Dad were separated, they would choose Dad because Dad had always been there for them while Mama was away. Maya broke down in front of the kids. They wiped her tears and asked her enough to cry, and that they would visit her on holidays. I couldn't be more proud to raise such adorable and understanding children. Indeed, children are much more mature than we think they are. Like I said, I asked Maya to leave the house. She gets to keep the money in our joint account. I would stop contributing to it any further. The money in there was enough for her to get a house, and she was already earning, so sustaining her life was not a problem. As for the custody, the children had already decided that they would stay with me and occasionally visit Mom, so I'm fine with that until she tries to manipulate them. In that case, I'll have to block her until they are adults. When the divorce paper was served to her, she tried her last bet by asking the children to convince me against the separation. When the children asked me that I shouldn't divorce Mommy, I probed them what made them say so because when they got to know about the divorce the first time, they were cool. I was expecting that they would cry and ask us not to separate. Then why suddenly, after so many weeks, they were requesting this? My daughter said that Mom had asked them to request me. I called Maya and warned her not to use our children to get away with her means, or she'll not be allowed to meet them. She was yet not signing the divorce paper and pleading with me for one last chance. She didn't have any demands of alimony, but she wanted to stay married. I threatened to leak her videos to her parents and mine, and that's when she signed the papers and released me. It's not easy for me to have a life without her after being together for 17 years, but this is how it is. I have to accept the fact that she was gone from my life and have to move on. I'm trying my best to focus on my work and the well-being of my children. Surprisingly, my children have taken this quite well. Maybe they were well prepared for the separation long before Maya's behavior was fluctuating for us. Good for us then. Thanks for having this space to let people vent out.